Her Opinion Show, the podcast you didn't know you needed. Real talk, bold truth, her voice, her vision, her rules. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Her Opinion. We are so excited to have with us a special guest. We've been begging, pleading since last season.
I think it took me to be on her show 6 times before
I don't know how
finally
many
got here.
times, but we have with us Carolina.
No, you want to say Carolina.
Yes,
Carolina Sanchez.
Carolina Sanchez.
Absolutely
No, we're not
not.
doing that here, guys. It's Carolina.
Carolina. Thank
And
you so much for
thanks,
Nightcap.
Finally.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you
We
for
have a
being-
good time
for
on
having
your
me.
show, Jen. I'm reaching it. Jen has wine in there. Don't let her fool you. Okay.
No, I don't.
But yes, I have an amazing time when I'm on your show. Thank you for even putting me on your show. I love you, girl. Since I
love
met
you
you,
too.
and I wanted you on here. We're gonna bring it today. So,
Yes.
okay,
Yes,
we're
yes.
turning up today.
Yes.
And I love your set. Like,
Thank-
it is
oh,
gorgeous.
We did all this
Yes.
for you.
Oh, we had somebody fly in from LA just to do the set for you. That's what I'm
Ernest.
talking about.
Thank you, Ernest.
Yes,
Shout out Ernest.
Yeah.
Ernest.
Okay, but either way, new set today.
Yes.
This is
I
us.
And
love it.
you are featuring our sign.
New sign.
Yes, new sign.
She matches
her.
the sign.
I know.
Yes.
Beautiful.
But
thank you.
what I want to say is I truly love women supporting women. And
Yes.
you're supporting us. We
Yeah.
support you. And anything you need, we got you.
And
For
same,
sure.
Same.
For
The feeling
sure.
is mutual.
Yes, for
I
sure.
love it. I mean, women empowerment. Like, who else gonna support us
Oh,
but us?
We gotta,
For
you know
sure.
what? And after this show, I hope that you don't get mad at us.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we don't say anything
Yeah.
that'll make you
'Cause
like, she's not coming on our
Yeah.
show anymore.
it's not that strategic as
Yeah.
Fox 26. Okay.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Hey,
All
and
good.
you're able to say whatever you want here, and that's the difference.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
and you brought your mom today, and I,
I
love
sure
that.
did. I
So
sure
one of the things that we did with Cindy, so you know Cindy,
Yes.
So shout out to Cindy. We talked about how we are so grateful for our moms
Yeah.
because our moms have always been there for us. If it wasn't for our
Yes.
moms, we wouldn't be here. So
For sure.
cheers,
Cheers
to
to
our mom,
Our mama,
Yes.
mummies, our mama.
Our
Our
mummies.
mommies.
And so yes, but let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Well, let's go from the very beginning because I mean, just being on the show, having your own show on Fox, being a Latina, I'm sure you had to jump through so many hurdles just to get where you're at.
I mean, my story is very unconventional, and a lot of people in the business probably have very unconventional stories. I, from the beginning, wanted to be a writer. At the end of the day, that's like what I'm most passionate about. I've stepped away from that significantly. But through that is how I determined in 6th grade that I was going to be a journalist.
Sixth
And-
grade.
Great.
grade.
See, that's what I wanted
Yes.
to hear.
Middle
because
school newspaper. Like,
Wow.
I got to go and like
journalist,
interview
not
Yes.
going to Hollywood,
No,
actress,
no,
none of that.
But actually, hold on.
Okay.
5th grade, I did go to New York City as part of the International Modeling and Talent Agency, like this huge convention. And I won Best Monologue as a kid
Awesome.
and had dreams of going to be an
Yeah.
actress.
Okay.
And then, my dad was like, what am I going to do in Texas while you and your mom are in LA? And I always give him grief about it. I'm like, I could be
I could be.
fucking
If
superstar
you
right now.
only know.
But
Or God was protecting you.
You know,
Yeah.
God
Oh,
was protecting
you
me.
know
And
what?
my
Look
mom
at the
says
two.
that.
Look at the news now.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
Diddy.
My mom, baby.
You did not bring that
Seriously.
up.
No,
Yeah.
for real.
And I'll tell you why I say that, but keep going.
And so it was like, okay, so what is something that's more realistic? And so, I went through the whole like, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. But at the end of the day, at my core, I'm a writer. And so when I was interviewing in my little middle school and like skipping class to go interview people and write things, like it was so fun. And I loved it. And I loved watching people read the stories that I wrote about them. And from then, that was it. Like there was no going back from that. And so after I graduated from NYU, I was like, I'm going to be a field producer. It's what it's going to be. And I worked at Fox News Channel.
Well, were you living in New York at the time?
Yeah, that's what I was
Or did
asking.
you leave and go for college?
I went there for college.
Okay,
And then
so
I stayed.
was that
And then-
scary as a
Hell no.
Latina?
No. In 5th
Okay.
grade, I told my mom after going there, I was like, I'm moving here.
Yeah.
I don't think she believed me,
Yeah.
but like I applied to 3 university.
You know, your mom was like, she's not going to leave me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
She was not happy.
Or she would
was-
say, "Oh, she's not going to stay very long. She'll come back."
Yeah. And I'm an only child, too. Right?
Oh,
and my
okay.
parents
To
were
that, so am I.
divorced by then.
Yeah.
And so, like, my mom, I'm her
Yes.
baby. I'm
Yes,
You're her everything.
her everything.
Everything.
And I'm packing up and going not to like UT, which is in Austin.
In
just
New
like,
York. I mean, anybody talks
I'm
about New York, they're
surprised she didn't
scared.
pack up and go with
I
you.
Baby,
know.
I'm surprised you didn't pack up and go with me too.
You already know.
But you know what? Like my relationship with my mom grew significantly because of our distance. Like
Yes,
no
I
one
can see
else
that.
in my circle spoke to their moms as often as I did. I talked to my mom every single day, sometimes
Awesome.
multiple times a day. And that's how we became close.
Yeah.
Was because I left.
Yeah.
Like one of my core memories is sitting in my freshman dorm room and watching her taxi leave.
Oh,
I
wow.
still get emotional thinking
Yeah.
about it because fuck, like
Yes.
my mom is really leaving me here.
Yes.
And I have to go be independent.
Yes.
And can I do it?
And can I do it? I mean, I don't think I had a doubt that I could do it because being an only child, you're forced to be independent.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Especially with hardworking parents who like, you know, have to
Yes.
Instill that in you. for
instill
sure.
that in you and they leave you at home
They
because
leave
they're
you-
working
they gotta
long
work.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't can I do it? It was more of like, can I survive without my mom?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Who's gonna
be
cook?
like?
How am I gonna cook? Yeah.
No,
I
luckily
think that's
I had
the
learned
thing.
how to cook. Luckily I had learned how to cook.
Okay.
I was the cook for all my roommates.
Okay.
But yeah.
And you know what? I love that because I didn't. I didn't do that, and I wish I had. And then I had my son young, and so I wish, like I said, go to college, do your thing, go. As I cried as he's leaving,
Yeah.
But because I didn't do it like I wanted to, I saw everybody
Yeah.
else do it. But my dad opened up the gym. We had volleyball, and I had to go to work, and I was like, I missed that opportunity.
No.
But my mom, I could have seen her coming with me.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh, it's okay. Well, I'll find a job over there.
For
I could have
sure.
totally seen it, but I love seeing girls who did it.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I'm so happy that you got to do that.
Yeah. I mean,
You found yourself there more.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
being there alone without your parents, trying to kind of like, what am I gonna do?
and I have an 18-year-old right now who is about to go to college. And he's still
Wow.
deciding where he's gonna go. He's been accepted to 4 different schools, and I forced him to
Yeah.
apply to City University of New York.
Really?
Just because
Following your footsteps.
Just in case.
I know.
Just
I'm like, why do I want him to
know.
pursue, like
Just
just
in
like
I
case.
want him. Yeah.
But
But wait till
The way that I
wait till
changed-
baby boy says,
I know.
Mom, I'm going to NYC. You're gonna be like,
I know.
no, I love it because
Yeah.
like I used to go at least twice a year.
Yeah.
Like all my friends are still there. It still
Okay.
feels like home. Like anytime I go, it's home.
But wait, here's the thing I want to say. Was your mom single at the time that you went?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
That's a big
Is
thing.
that just because you know what it is, like you're leaving them by themselves. This is different. You're married. If your son left, whatever, you have each other still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's hard to be like, I don't want to leave my mom
Yeah.
by herself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I totally
Especially
get that.
when you're her world.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
exactly.
You're everything.
Yeah. My mom, like, you know, sold a townhome that we had where we had been growing up.
Mhm.
Because sophomore year of high school, I was like, I want to leave here and go to a different school in a different city. And she bought this new house on her own. And I lived there just 3 years,
Yeah.
you know, but she uprooted her life to do that
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
And I was leaving her there.
Yeah.
But
But it's just like an
But-
example for you.
Yeah.
no, it's she can look at you now and be
Well, I'm
like,
just saying,
I
yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
I
sure.
did that.
I mean, my mom has always said made by BB.
yes.
And it's because of her
Yes.
first and last initial. And now her grandsons call her BB.
yes.
And I'm like, she's been preparing for BB this whole
Yeah,
time
yeah.
because she always says, anytime she compliments me, like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, which is rare, by the way.
Made by
She-
BB.
She'd be the first one to be like, girl, you gained
Yes.
too many pounds.
Yes.
I saw you on
We all have
camera
moms
Tuesday.
like that.
But if she compliments me, it's
Yeah.
like, it's because
You
you're made
know
by
it's
BB.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Right? If it's a good thing, it's her.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, but definitely hard to leave a single mom.
Yes.
Because who's going to take care of her at the end of the day? Obviously, she can take care of herself.
Of
but, like,
course.
who's going to be there with her
Yeah.
every night? Her family is luckily, like my mom's side of the family is in Dallas. Actually, my mom and my dad's side of the family are all in Dallas. So she did have like a support system, but nothing as close as her daughter.
Yeah, of
her
course.
only daughter.
Yeah.
But you know,
And
I know
look at
she's-
you.
I know.
I know.
But
And
look
look
at me.
at you.
Look at
Made
me.
by
Right?
BB.
Wait, it's a good thing it became a success story.
I know. Because at first, you know, like after
Because those New York streets, girl.
baby. So mind you, like I'm in these New York streets.
Yeah.
I'm working at Victoria's Secret. Like my mom, you know, for some reason in high school, she didn't want me working at all until my senior year. She was like, okay.
I think all Hispanic moms
Yeah.
are more like that.
don't
They're
want
like,
you to work.
concentrate on school.
which is great.
Yeah.
But then senior year, she was like, okay, if you want to make
time.
money, like I want you to work at Victoria's Secret. I was like, Victoria's
Victoria's
Secret?
Secret.
She was like, because they
Your
dress
mom-
up nice.
Oh,
Like, they
okay.
wear black
I thought she was
they're
going to say she wanted a
professional.
discount.
She did get
That
discount. And so luckily, because of that, I transferred to Herald Square, Victoria's
area
Secret,
in New
which
York.
is it's the flagship
yeah.
Victoria's
over
Secret.
there, yeah.
So I was making like $650 in Frisco,
Ooh,
Texas.
you were doing it good, girl.
And then I
Dang.
moved to New York City and did a transfer, and they were like, "You're making $650." They're like,
nothing.
"How about 15?" And I was like, "15? College student?" I mean, none of my friends had
And-
to work at the same time. All of my friends came from wealthy families who like basically were able to pay it
Yeah.
off, or like, you know, took out a home equity loan to pay for their
Right.
school. My mom is still dealing with
Yeah.
my student loans at this moment.
And like you said, it feels good though when you do make your own money. You don't have to ask your parents like, "Hey, can I get some extra money for this or that?"
Yeah.
Like my son tells me all the time, his roommate, his dad is a producer for Netflix. He just says that he sends him money. I'm like, well, we don't produce
I
for
know.
Netflix.
Like, who do you think I am?
Sorry,
I
sir.
know.
Yeah.
Back to reality.
I mean, I still ask my mom for money. I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Mom, can you buy this for me?" I mean, and sometimes she'll call me and she'll be like, "Hey, I need another $1,000 in my
Oh,
account
for
today.
sure.
I'll pay you by Friday." I'm like,
Yes.
"Mom, just take
No,
whatever."
And
Yes.
this is what it is. This is
Yeah.
the beauty of that.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love
Yes.
that you're spilling the tea on
Yeah.
our show.
This is not
'Cause we
something
would've
that you would
never
ever known
known.
about her.
Only on her
I know.
opinion. Love
She's showing
this.
her opinion
Yes.
on
And we
this
got liquor in
situation.
first to make sure.
They sure did.
Yes.
They sure
Yes.
did.
So if you could say anything through that journey, maybe that made you or who you are now, like what could you share as far as like obviously you had a great time on the New York streets. Like
Yeah.
New York is a time.
Yeah.
But were you ever scared or were you ever like or did
No.
everybody just say, "Let's go hit the town. Let's do
Yeah, no, baby, New York hates to see me coming. Every time I go. Okay,
Yeah.
so and because of my time at Victoria's Secret, like I didn't just make college friends. I made New York
friends,
native
yeah.
friends. And so they were all from the Bronx. So I spent many a time in the Bronx. So like I
Yeah.
was embedded in those streets.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
New
why I
York-
say it feels like home.
and
Yeah.
New York's just different.
New York is
know.
different.
Oh, listen.
So,
For sure.
and my mom hated this because when I came back for the first break was probably like Thanksgiving break, and I hated it. I hated coming back home. All of my high school friends were still in the same bullshit,
Oh,
like
for
hanging
sure.
out in their garages,
Yeah.
smoking, drinking, and I'm like, this is nothing. And then like the streets were empty. Like I'm used to walking everywhere,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
seeing hundreds of people, and I'd be
Busy.
like, Mom, these streets are empty.
Yeah.
And so I stopped coming home for breaks. And like my mom absolutely hated it. You know,
Yeah.
come home, please come home.
I'm out.
And like then I started like summers I would spend at any of my New York friends' homes
Right.
and just stayed there and
Yeah.
worked. And I didn't think I'd leave. Like
And the thing about New York, because I started going to New York early, because like I said, I didn't go to college, but baby, it wasn't gonna stop me.
It wasn't gonna stop
wasn't gonna
you.
stop me. I was like, I'm making money already. I'm traveling Miami,
Yeah.
New York. So I was there every year. Like I was partying. And the thing about that is like New York just gave you that like you can be anything. Like go get it. Like I remember my first time to New York, I saw a little boy waiting at the subway, and he was like 6 by himself. And I said, "Oh my God, what is this
yeah.
kid doing here?" And
They know what they're
and
doing.
my friend from New York was like, "Chill, that's what we do here. We have
I
to,
know.
you know, we gotta
My
go."
kids
And I
would
was
be
like,
lost. They would have no
I was like-
idea how to.
I was
how
about to go
go.
hold his hand and say, "Are you okay?" He was probably gonna
He's
be
gonna
like,
hold
"Are
your
you
hand.
okay?"
I know. He's gonna hold
like,
your hand.
ma'am, get out here.
And that's when I realized, shoot, this is a different
This is
ball game out
different.
here.
It
It's a
is.
different grind. And
You
then
grow
here I
up
am
faster.
older going back to New York. I'm like, ooh, is dirty. What's
I
going on?
know. I know. We were there last year, and we're just like, I can't wait to go back to Houston.
I need to chill. I need to chill.
I know.
So my best friend, all of my best friends are still in New York City. One of them now has a son who's same age as my youngest.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, are you not going to leave? Because she had told me, I'm going to move. I'm going to leave. You know, New York is not family friendly, but her entire family has taken over like 2 blocks in Brooklyn and Clinton Avenue, Clinton Hill in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Heights.
And and now I'm like, oh, maybe it's possible. Like if my oldest moves to New York City.
Oh, no, you can't leave us.
You'll be like, hey, can I be transferred?
Yeah. And mind you, I love the shit out of Houston. I didn't think I would. I mean, growing up, there's a weird rivalry between Houston and Dallas that I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It makes it fun.
Yeah.
It does make it fun.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like to talk about the Cowboys?
Yeah, we're not gonna say
You
if
know
you
you're a
are or
Cowboys
not.
fan, aren't
don't.
Please
We're
tell
not gonna
me-
talk about
Tell
it.
me you're not a Cowboys
No, we're not
fan.
gonna talk about.
Cowboys fan. What do you
All right.
mean?
Well,
I'm from
bless your
Dallas.
heart. Well, bless your heart.
Bless my heart for real. Like,
You hang in there. You hang in.
baby, that's how you know I'm loyal.
The
okay?
one
You
good
can take me
thing-
through all the bullshit, and I will still
For
stand
sure.
by your
Hey,
side.
you know what? The one good thing is those cheerleaders.
Baby,
that
yeah.
I would. I give props
Yeah.
to that.
Best cheerleader.
For
Somebody's
sure.
got to hold it down. Somebody's got to hold it down. But that's
For
for
real.
another
Women.
show.
The
Yes,
for another
yes,
show.
yeah. So when was it that you? I mean, you're coming from New York, and how did you land in Houston?
In Houston?
You know, because Dallas, a lot of people go to Dallas because that's kind of like the New York
It's
City
like the
of
metropolitan,
Texas.
right?
Yeah.
You know, so how did you come to Houston?
I'm gonna be real. Okay, so
Be real.
Well, what was your first job in journalism?
my first, okay, so I had interned at Good Morning America, at CBS Sunday Mornings. I'd interned at all the big
Yes.
networks,
Wow.
except for NBC. I still haven't worked at NBC.
Were you on TV there?
No.
Okay,
The plan was
so
not
just
to be
the
on
back-
TV.
in the back,
The
yeah.
plan was to be a field producer.
Okay.
I wanted to be like a war producer. I wanted to travel.
Wow. Okay.
And so as I'm working at Fox News Channel, I'm volunteering my time as I'm volunteering my time at the New York Bureau. And so I would work my regular job and then go work with them. So like Hurricane Sandy hit and I was on the scene, like
okay.
helping produce. And so that was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I've rekindled something with a boyfriend from high school.
Here
who
we
kinda,
go.
like slipped in as soon as like as I ended a relationship, a long-term relationship in New York. He was like, "Hey, what's up?" And mind you,
Always.
he's
Yes,
been calling
that's
me
the
for
devil.
years.
Yeah.
He had called me for years and years, and he'd always be like, "I fucking love you. I'm gonna marry you." And I'm like, "Shut the hell
Where was
up."
he
You
from?
wish.
From Dallas. He's,
Okay.
he's
Oh,
from
see, that
South
makes
Dallas.
sense.
Does
And baby,
Was he a Cowboys fan?
So then he still is a Cowboys fan, but not a Mavs fan, baby.
Okay.
He's loyal, though. That's what it is.
So then after I graduate a few months later, he's like, "Hey, like, can I fly you down to Dallas?" And I'm like, "Oh, free ticket to see my
yes.
family? Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's go." He
speaking
flew
my
me down
language.
to Dallas, took me out on a date, and I was like, "Oh, I got the upper hand here. I moved on from this guy. Like, hey,
You're
you know,
New York
I'm in
now.
New York. I'm in New York.
Shoot, can't tell me
I thought I
nothing.
was gonna marry someone else."
Yeah.
Baby, we went out. He took me back to his apartment, and it was just like we watched a movie, and my heart was like a magnet to his. And I was like,
Wow.
"Fuck, I'm still not over you after 5
Yes.
years, bro."
Wow.
And that's it. So like we started a long distance open relationship, and I was flying
Ready
there
to out-
every other
Ready to
month.
drop it all and
He
come.
was-
Yes.
And we were just back and forth until finally he was like, he proposed.
And it makes
Aw.
sense. Families here, like, come back.
Yes.
So he proposed, and I was shocked by the proposal. I didn't think it would happen that quickly. Not that it was quick, because we were long distance for years, and I thought either he would be in New York or I would be back in Dallas, and that was not the case. And so I was like, okay, well, dang, I have to decide.
Make a decision. Yeah.
So he already had a son. His son was 2 or 3 at the time. And I was like, am I someone who could
Be a stepmom.
yeah.
stepmom? I had already
accepted
it. But can I take him away from his son? And
to go to New York.
Yeah, to move to New York. And I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. He was ready. And I was like, I can't. So I gave up network, which is crazy in my industry. Like to give up. I'm already at a network. People
at the prime level.
Yeah, and you've been working. Yeah.
Did we say New York?
Yeah.
And so, luckily, like all of the executives knew me at Fox News Channel. And so I went to Shari Berg. Shout out to her. She's a girl. She's a woman's woman. She's like a powerful woman who actually looks after other women in the industry. And I was like, hey, I am stuck between this professional side that's pulling me to stay here, and I'm stuck on and the personal side of me wants to, pursue love.
Yeah.
And she's like, if you're talented, you'll get to where you need to be regardless. But your personal life, like,
you got to choose.
She didn't really say, but she said enough for me to be like, love is love, right?
Yeah.
Am I going to find something like this again? And so she was like, you say the word and I'll send your resume to the 3 Fox O&Os in Texas. So mind you, this is a VP sending my resume to
That's amazing.
the stations.
Yeah.
So for them, it's like, oh, her word is bond.
for sure.
Like, we have to hire her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had an interview in Dallas and in Houston. And sadly, the offer in Dallas was
not a
garbage.
Yeah, not up to your
Okay.
standard.
And the offer in Houston was better.
Not garbage.
And so I was like,
And he was in Dallas.
My whole family's in Dallas. Everything's in
Everything's in Dallas.
Nothing's in Houston.
Yeah.
And so I was like, listen, I am moving states for you. You can move 4 hours south from me. He's like, Houston of all the places, Houston.
He's like,
and I'm like, baby, like, you want me making less or more?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm moving from another state.
So I moved to Houston, and he's still in Dallas, has not found work.
Yeah.
And we're doing this long distance. Instead of a 4-hour plane ride, it's now a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
45. And I am like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
Because I am starting at rock bottom. Like,
Yeah.
I was at network level, and now I'm at
Yeah.
a local station, and I don't know anything about local TV because I've
Yeah.
only worked at network. And I am working overnights. I'm working weekends, and I'm like, oh my God.
and
what
missing New
Wait,
York.
how old were you during this time? I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about
20s.
age, but you're in your 20s, right? You still
Yeah,
had
I'm
that
in my
energy.
20s.
So
I'm
you
in
still
my
had the
20s.
energy to do all
Yeah,
of that
I still have the
stuff,
energy to do all
But
this.
she left New York.
I know,
left
but
New
New
York.
York, but it's not New York.
And so, I don't have doubts about the relationship,
Yeah.
but I'm having doubts of like the decision to
Yeah.
leave, the
New York.
grandeur
Yes.
of New York
Everything,
City.
of course.
You come back to these stations and you're like,
You go from
budget
those
is small.
streets,
The budget is
those
tight.
streets to these streets.
Yeah, and people like to compare like the dollar amounts, and my news director at the time was like, the cost of living is significantly cheaper here in Houston. When you start to calculate, I was living in the Bronx. My rent was $500 because I lived in a 2-bedroom basement apartment with one of my best friends, and the rent total was $1,000. So she paid $500, I paid $500. My transportation was $100 a month at the time. So $600 of like,
that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
I moved to Houston. It's $1,000 just for me.
You're like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me.
I
I
need to
know.
buy a car.
Yeah, because you can't
You have
And
to
so
have
I'm
a car.
anywhere.
going from $100 in transportation to $400 because
Yeah.
at the time I got a Civic, the cheapest thing I could get, a Civic.
Oh, shout out to the Civics. Back in the
Hey, I
day.
had a Civic
No,
at
back
some
in the
point
day,
in
the
my
Civics
life.
were lit.
Yeah,
Hey,
baby.
yeah.
$300 for the vehicle, and then $100 for insurance.
Yeah.
And I'm like $400.
No roommate.
So now $1,400 I'm spending, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up,
Wait, were you making
Yeah.
less?
and I'm making less. I'm
Oh.
Yeah,
making
yeah.
significantly
'Cause we make
less.
less down here.
We
Yeah.
make less down here. So I'm like, what the hell am I?
They did not sell the dream right
They
to
did
you.
not sell the dream right. But the grind was still in me, right?
Yeah.
So even though I was in a brand new world, starting from rock bottom, I was like, what am I going to do to get up.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the dream was other than like I wanted to be a special projects producer, a field producer, because that is what's ingrained in me. But those don't exist at a local level.
Yeah.
But I kept volunteering for everything. I mean, that's just who I am. Like I
And
want
you have
to
a
be,
great personality.
Yeah.
yes.
Not back then.
Why did you doubt that? You do.
Because it's not just having a great personality. It's like for
It's
me
much more.
No, I'm saying you had a great personality because what you're doing now. So obviously it got you there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
They were like, there's
Yes.
so much
I
more
know.
than
There's
behind the
always
scenes,
potential.
baby girl.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to be on camera. I had been
Really?
offered
You
to
didn't want to be on camera?
No.
Okay.
Because you have
You
to
have
be
like
somebody
the
else.
face for
You have to be
camera.
somebody else
Okay.
in news. You have to be very poised. You have to be
Got it.
not
Yeah,
just
just a
reliable,
different-
but you have to be
yeah,
different.
just
And if I'm
different,
out
yeah.
in these streets, and I know who I am,
Yeah.
baby, I could be a ratchet ass bitch. And so if
You were
I'm
like,
out
I
in
have
these
to
streets,
clean
like,
it
and
up.
I'm reporting on, a
I gotta
kidnapping,
clean it
Yeah,
up.
you can't do both.
Like I can't be both.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
And so I had been offered to be a reporter, and I was like, no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
And so, but they kept putting me in positions to be on TV. And so finally, they asked me to come up with something for the digital world that was new and exciting. And when I had interned at Good Morning America, one of my colleagues, one of the other interns was a grad student at Columbia, and he became the digital EP for NBC News. And he launched this Snapchat show called Stay Tuned. And it was so laid back, so fun, and for younger generations. And I was like, I can launch that. And they were like, oh, you really think you can? We don't really have resources for that. Mind you, he had a team of 15 people. And I was like, I can do it with 2 here.
Yeah.
Sounds like us.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And
with 2.
so I looked for creative people because the problem with news people is that we have a one-track mind. We know exactly how to do it. Like you just need a VOSOT, you just need video, you need a soundbite, and you're gold. Like you don't need anything sparkly fancy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to social media, you got to be sparkly
Oh,
fancy.
for sure,
You got to
yeah.
have some
Yeah.
flash to it.
Yeah.
And so I went to our creative services department and started asking people like, hey, this is a vision I have. Do we think we can have it? I received a couple of no's. And there's this one girl who I had worked with a little bit on some other projects who was like, let's do it. And her name is Javi Pagado, and I love her. She's like my media naranja at Fox. And we presented a pilot of me doing like very quick, fun news.
Yeah.
It was about 1 minute to 2 minutes. And my general manager loved it. And he
I
was
was
like,
gonna
how
say.
soon can you do
know.
this? And so
Where have you been?
I know.
yeah. So launched it. And this was before Instagram became as big as it is,
Yeah.
before Snapchat became as big as it is. And we started churning them out while I'm doing my regular job. So I was working super long hours just to do this random
Did
passion
the guy
project.
ever move to Houston?
He did move to
I know,
Houston. I'm so
yeah.
sorry. 6 months later, he
What
moved
happened
Houston.
to that story?
And
I
6
want
months
to
later,
know.
baby, you know how this
Okay,
conversation
okay.
goes. I'm so sorry. Yes, I married him.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
there
okay.
we
It's
go.
the husband.
Cheers to that.
I was like,
cheers
did
to
we
that.
lose him?
I know.
We married him.
Yeah,
Okay.
We
good,
married
good,
him.
good.
Okay. He
we
was a
still-
keeper.
We still
Okay.
married to him. 10 years deep. It'll be
Awesome.
11 this year.
Congratulations on that.
No, worth
Yes.
it. Worth it.
Worth the wait.
And I'm so happy that I made the decision to choose love over
But he was so
career.
supportive because it could have been anybody
I
else
would
and they
not
wouldn't have been.
I could not have married a more supportive man.
Yeah.
Like anytime that I
that's
had an
crucial.
accomplishment, he would be ready with like pomp and circumstance at home.
Love
Yeah.
will be there. Career might not always. be.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who's gonna be there for me at the end of the day?
Exactly.
Like Fox News could fucking
Switch it up.
switch it
Yeah.
up. Be like, oh, you suck today.
Yeah,
Bye.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
Her
made the
opinions got you.
You got a place here.
The network's
forever.
growing. We got you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I need security. But no, he loved me through all the
And even now, I mean, you're still going out there. You still have to attend certain things, and he's still supportive.
yeah. I mean, he has to be like.
Well, he was before. I think it comes
Okay,
easier
whatever.
for him.
He's here. We
I
get it. But then let's
All
back
right.
to her show.
Hey, I'm gonna try to give him a little props.
Yeah,
make him
give
feel
him the
good.
props, give him
Make
the props.
feel good.
props, but now we're
Give him some props. Gotta give him some props there.
So I launched this little show. A lot of people called it a little show.
I don't think it's a little
And
show.
gotta
Everybody
tell
knows.
you
No,
it.
wait.
award.
We're talking before, right? Nightcap.
Before
was,
Nightcap.
was
I'm-
before Nightcap.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
What was
got
it called?
The Break.
The break.
Okay.
And I was so fun with it. And it's the only way that I would be in front of
Yeah.
a camera is because I got to be myself. I got to have fun. And I still got to be a journalist at the end of the day. And so we won a Telly Award. I got nominated for 2 Emmys.
Awesome.
Like, it was on and popping.
Isn't it
Yeah.
crazy talking about that now? Because we kind of get into our wherever we're at now. We don't
Yeah.
look back and think like, damn,
Yeah.
I did do that. Like, you are the shit.
Yeah.
Like, we don't, it's hard because, like, we had our talk about my dad, and I'm just like, no, wait, hold on, sir. I've done some things. Baby, I've done some things. You gotta look back sometimes to be
Yeah.
like, look at me now.
Yes,
Exactly.
So that's what we're about.
I love it.
That's
Yeah.
what we're about. So that's
I
why
love
we
that.
wanted to get deep with you.
Yes. Yes. And we're a big supporter to that.
Yeah, you just
know?
weren't. It wasn't just
Yes.
Nightcap, baby.
I know.
Girl.
It wasn't
It was
just
a
I
journey.
know.
It was a
It was-
journey.
And
It
some
was a
people
journey.
see like the aftermath of everything, and you're just like, you have no idea everything I had to
Yeah.
go through to
Yeah.
get to where
You
I'm
are a
at.
strong woman.
for sure.
And that. you
Yeah,
went
I didn't
through
think
the-
I would have this show. If I'm being frank, like after the pandemic hit, the break went to shit.
Yeah.
It went dark.
Yeah.
And so I was a digital producer at the time. So that meant that I was in charge of writing articles for our website, posting on our social medias. That was my job. And during the pandemic, that went dark. And my manager quit. And at the same time, I am enrolled at Columbia University because I'm like, I have to do something else. I've got to learn more. I got to grow more because
That's
now
not me.
It's
Yeah.
not me. And now I'm hungry for more after that. After the digital show. And so I'm studying to be a data journalist and a data visualization architect. And then the opportunity of the Nightcap comes up. And so
Where did the name come from?
The Nightcap? Who came up with that name? I don't remember who came up with
But
that.
it's a good name.
It
I
is a
mean,
good
like
name.
literally, it's at night, and
at
everybody,
night.
And
everybody
get a
likes
cap.
doing a nightcap.
And you get a
Yeah.
nightcap.
Yes,
Like this
yes,
one.
yes, exactly.
I just want to know who else was.
I know
and
who else was in.
Was
the
it just
mix?
you? Like,
No,
as
no,
a
no. It wasn't
possibility
me.
for the host?
No. It wasn't me. So
I can't imagine.
I threw my hat in the ring. And I was told no. I was told that I would be the
No.
fill-in.
Wow.
And no, they had a fantastic candidate who I think absolutely deserved it. And that's when I was studying. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm just going to be a fill-in, then I need to pursue something greater and bigger. So
Yeah.
I was going to be the data. My mind was set that I would be the data journalist for Fox television stations
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money to be made
Yeah.
there. And so I did all the studying. I had a 1-year-old at home. My husband was like full on daddy mode so that I could work, come home and study for 4 hours
Awesome.
every night.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it's your purpose.
Yes.
When God gave you somebody who can help you through
Yeah.
that journey.
And so at the end of it, it didn't work out with that first person. And so my general manager comes up to me and he's like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to be the DCM, which is the digital content manager, or do you want to be the host of the Nightcap? And I was shocked to my core because I was like, hold on, this wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It was definitely for somebody else who was super talented, who definitely deserved it. And they were looking at me. And so my husband was like, follow that money, honey. And he had spent many nights taking care of our
Yeah.
son while I'm
He
studying
was
my
in it,
ass
too.
off. And,
Sure.
and he saw my vision. And so he said DCM, so digital content manager. And so I was like, yeah, that's a solid choice. And so that weekend, my oldest son came with us, and my husband was like, what should computer girl do? That's what he calls me. What should computer girl do? Should she like take the television host job, or should she be a digital manager? And he was like, have fun, aka take the host position.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my
Wow.
God, who's my son?
I know.
telling me? I was like, why
Yes,
shouldn't
like,
I have fun, you know?
yes.
And so
Well, he knows.
Well, sometimes
what
we
was
have to
right.
go back to
Yeah.
child.
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
like,
yeah.
and sometimes because our kids know us more than anybody else.
Well, our kids are kids.
I
And they're
know.
like,
Our kids
"Stop
are
being
but they
an
know.
adult. Like, have
Yeah,
some fun."
exactly.
Have some fun.
You only live once.
So I chose to have fun. And what's fucking crazy, ladies, is that job that was a sure thing. And that's what my general manager said. He's like, listen, if you take the manager position, that is a position we need and will absolutely stay filled.
Yeah.
You could take this host position and we cancel the show in 6 months. Right? So
Wow.
it wasn't
There's
a
a
short
risk.
thing.
Yeah.
It was a huge risk. And guess what still exists today and doesn't now?
I was going to ask you that.
Yes,
How long has the
that's
show
yeah.
been on now?
We're on our 3rd year.
Amazing.
And it's been number 1.
And
Yeah.
you would have already been canceled on the other job.
The manager
Yeah.
job has been terminated.
wow.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
So
So sometimes you got to stop and say, look at God.
Yeah.
look at
But
God.
everything
Shares
was
on that.
falling
Look
into
at
place.
God, won't he do it?
Yes, for
He
sure.
will do it, and he did it well.
Did it
And
well.
Sometimes
everything
he
was
knows
falling
more
into
than us.
place. Yeah, and
Really?
everything was falling into place. And it was your son.
It was my
Who
son
said
at the end of
that?
the day. And I tell
You
the story
know?
often because like I wanted the sure thing and I wanted money and like, you know, the sacrifices that my parents made for me to go to NYU,
Oh,
the
for
money
sure.
that they've spent for me to go to NYU because it wasn't a cheap school. It's still not a cheap school.
The money sometimes is not always
Right.
the
Right,
thing.
right, right.
It's the opportunity and the doors that it's going to open.
Right.
Which it has.
Right.
And so we are so.
And I love
it.
you on the
Yes.
Nightcap. I couldn't imagine anybody else on the
else.
Nightcap.
I know.
And I just love that we get to bring you on here and to show that, because I mean, like, us on this show has been able to put ourselves out there and say, damn, look at us. Like we did it. We
Absolutely,
built
yes.
it, like, right? And
Yeah.
then give other women the you need the seat, baby. You got the seat at our table. There's
Yes.
you don't have to worry about that. And genuine.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is because a lot of people can get into a situation or a spotlight and just become bitches, you know?
And
Like,
people don't know who's behind that microphone
Yeah.
or behind that show. They
Right.
only see one side of you because you are
Yeah.
the host.
Right.
And now the table is flipped where we get to interview
know.
you and get
Yes.
to know you. Like
such a weird
all
place
of
to be
these
in.
and I
things-
think you weren't even thinking about
Yeah.
sharing this much.
I
But
know.
look, now that you
Appreciate
did,
it.
how do you feel about that?
No,
like, you haven't really given that story.
Yeah, I don't think have you.
When was the last time you
I
did that
know.
story?
Yeah, it's rare. Not in this much detail, right? Like I
Yeah.
do share a little bit of that about this journey, but like, you know, it's nice to look back
Are you
on.
kind of proud of yourself?
I know.
I am.
There's a whole nother dimension of you. It's just amazing.
I
You
think
know?
she's getting a
Jen.
fucking award for
I
her
know.
opinion show.
talk about Emmy nomination.
You don't know
That's
about our
Emmy.
awards. I mean, you do, because you saw
do.
them.
I
Oh,
do.
shit.
I
Our
know.
awards.
Yes.
To the 1
Yeah.
year.
Yes.
For
We
y'all.
go,
Next
listen,
year.
if nothing else on social media, baby,
Yeah,
we
we're
going
gonna
all
get-
the way.
there's a
we
award
going all
there.
Terrible
the way.
at social media. I have got to be better.
No, you're
Every-
pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't knock yourself, because you're pretty good.
Yes.
Like, you're
Yeah,
on.
you're
there.
better than
That's all
me.
that matters.
Hey, you're better than me.
Once a
You're on there,
week.
girl.
She's
You're
better
on
than
there.
me.
Okay, we can talk all day. You're definitely coming back.
For sure.
Okay?
No,
now
I
you,
like it.
now
There's
you're
a
like,
part
you're
two.
in,
I
mean,
you're
you got me
in.
sobbing, y'all.
Yeah.
They got
I'm here.
they
I'm
got-
here.
Like, we're going
we need a
whiskey
part
next time.
two.
We're going whiskey.
Yes.
But here's the thing. We're going to have some fun now.
Okay.
Okay. We're going in. We have some fun. We got to get you. She's got to go to her son's school. So we got to wrap this
Celebrate
up.
his birthday. Yep.
But
yep.
let's talk about
Yes.
slang from the 90s.
Okay.
Okay. Because a lot of times, like, these kids nowadays, they got their own slang, and we're just like, wait, what happened to the terms we
Yes.
used to use back in the day?
You know what's funny? The other day I said something to my kids, which was a 90s slang, and they're like, "What does that mean?" So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I said, so I need the 411 on that, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like,
Mary.
what is that?
That's Mary J. Blige, baby.
So I said, well, back in the day, we didn't have the internet. We had to call the number 411.
That's like map quest.
I know. So I had to explain to them that we called 411 and they told you about that business.
Did you
or
have to explain the
Yes.
the phone, the
That's crazy.
landline at home?
everything.
'Cause
I
nobody
had
has
to
landlines anymore.
explain that. They're like,
Speaking
Oh
of that,
my
we didn't get
God.
our phone out here.
I
Our
know.
lips.
Forgot
They
our
forgot
lip
our phone. But okay, so I'm gonna start it, and y'all see if y'all can finish the term. Okay,
All right, hold up.
drinking,
Gotta get-
drinking.
Drink.
And these, you gotta know these. Okay,
Okay.
because unfortunately, we still might say these
I
today.
know.
All right, all that.
And a bag of chips.
Yes.
Yes.
As
If
Okay.
That's from Clueless.
Talk.
to the hand, only because
Yes.
you did this. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
wouldn't know.
Boo.
Yeah.
Duh. Bomb.
Just duh.
Oh,
Okay.
I
That
was
would,
thinking
but you can say
DUH,
duh
not DA.
by itself too, because we used to
Duh.
say duh like
well,
hello.
Chat GPC said duh.
Duh. Duh bomb. Okay.
Don't
Okay,
don't
I don't
go
know.
there.
Oh,
Don't
don't
go
go there. Okay.
Okay. Getting jiggy.
With it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Getting
this
jiggy
one
with
you
it.
might not. Home.
Alone? Just kidding. That's the 90s movie?
Skillet.
Home skillet.
Oh.
That one was,
I don't think we
that
said
one
that
we
that
should not
much.
be repeating
I
anymore.
Actually, do we say home girl or home boy anymore? No, right?
No,
I don't know, but we said it a
maybe
lot.
a little bit. That's my home girl. I think home
Yeah, my
girl, not
homegirl
home boy,
still.
but home
I
girl.
don't be
I
saying
don't know if
home
I don't
girl
say it
anymore.
anymore.
That's
No.
my
my
girl.
girl.
I think you may
That's my girl,
see-
yeah,
yeah,
my
you
girl.
may hear it. No,
Way.
no diggity.
Oh,
No doubt.
diggity. Yeah.
All right, this one I can't.
was
There's
a
no other
song.
term but fat.
PH.
PHAT.
PHAT.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was gonna say ass.
Okay, TLC. I can't say the word, but TLC says it.
Scrubs?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then sup.
Oh, yeah.
It's just sup.
Oh, it's just
Hey,
sup.
sup.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then another one. Word.
Word.
Word up.
You go.
Girl.
You go,
Yeah,
girl.
there you
And
go.
then the last one, faux
Show.
shizzle.
We
Faux
made it
shizzle.
fancy.
Okay, and that's all of them.
I love it.
But
Hey, there's
so-
more.
Okay,
They're
great.
You know,
no, but then I had some riddles that were pretty good.
All right.
So I'll try a few because these can get a little bit. So I have no hands, but I can hold everything you need. The fuller I am, the heavier your burden. What am I?
I think too much wine for this one.
These are like you got to think about it.
I don't know.
I have no hands, but I can hold everything. Oh, everything you need. The fuller I am, the heavier your burden. What am I? What do we fill up to the max?
You know what's real?
Patience.
Yeah.
You know what's really bad about this? That I've already heard these.
And she
And
still
I
don't know.
you still don't know,
no,
Jen?
no, I sent
Help
her
me
the
out.
I sent her the script. She didn't look at
I
it.
know.
It's a
I
handbag.
did look at it.
A
A
handbag.
Okay,
handbag.
okay.
Okay, we'll do
Yeah,
one
I
more.
did look at it, but I don't remember
Okay,
them all.
this is gonna be hard. Oh, this
Okay.
one's easy.
Okay.
I can change your face in an instant, but wash me away and I'm gone.
Makeup.
Yep, that one was easy. Okay, this one's good. This is the last one we're gonna do because we're going
Okay.
into something else.
Okay.
Okay. The more I work, the less you see of me. If I stop working, you'll definitely notice. What am I?
The more I work,
The less you see of me.
Time?
No. If I stop working, you'll definitely notice.
the more I work, the,
The
less you see of me.
And then if I stop
That was
working,
a hard one.
Deodorant.
Deodorant.
Oh God!
Right?
That's true.
That's so true.
That's so
but
true.
anyways, we are done. It was fun.
Yes.
This was fun.
I absolutely had an amazing time with you. New set. All for
Yes.
you.
I love this new set.
All
And
for
like
you.
we said, you have to come back.
No, I'll be
There's
back.
no way that you cannot come back.
I know, I'll
We're
be
gonna
back.
have to beg, and she's gonna have
No,
to go
I have to
come
go
on
take
6
six
more
more
times.
times.
So, and I
But-
probably will
Split
be
it
there.
3 and 3.
Yes,
We gotta
it'll be
get the married
fine.
people. We gotta get the married people on the nightcap.
Yes.
Come on.
I'm
Yeah.
so much more than dating and single life. Not taking myself on dates.
I see you. I see
But
you.
thank you. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I love you. It's always
Yes.
fun.
We're a big fan of you.
You
I'm
know.
a big fan of y'all.
We love
And
you.
I love
so-
y'all too. Thank
and
you
it's
so
all
much.
about supporting each other.
Yes.
And like I said,
And until next
I'm so
time.
happy. Yes.
Until next time.
Cheers. She'll be back.
I'll
Put it
be
in
back.
the comments. Do you
Yeah.
want Carolina back?
For
I don't know who
No.
she
Hey,
is.
for
Carolina.
show. For
Faux
show.
Faux shizzle.
Shiz.